October on Patreon, we check in with the Riotin' Realtor, and Buckley looks back at his review of Beyoncé's Run the World from 10 years ago. Thank you to everyone making this happen by supporting The Habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. This is Social Media Meltdown, a feature where we look at a news story that's trending online and the internet's reaction to that story. Not sure why you clicked on this, because obviously, all you're gonna hear is a guy read you some very reasonable and measured takes about something that's not childish at all, right? Tonight's top story: Nintendo broadcast a brand new Nintendo Direct presentation on September 23rd, revealing upcoming first and third-party titles for the Nintendo Switch video game system. During the presentation, Nintendo figurehead Shigeru Miyamoto announced that they have partnered with film studio Illumination, responsible for the Despicable Me and spin-off Minion franchises, to create a Super Mario Bros. Movie. The animated feature film will star Marvel movie mainstay Chris Pratt as Mario, The Queen's Gambit star Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia's Charlie Day as Luigi, and Jack Black as Bowser. In other news, the internet does not care much for Chris Pratt. We really found this out in a viral tweet in October 2020. You know, around the point when many people had been effectively locked in their homes for 7 months. Yeah, everyone was in a good state of mind at this point, when someone did one of those "one has to go" posts with famous people named Chris. Many people took this very seriously, declaring Chris Pratt the worst Chris because, well, let's let Twitter tell us why. Chris Pratt is Mario, a member of a very anti-LGBT+ church. They may open their doors to everyone, but they don't actually approve of us. #not my Mario. Casting Chris Pratt as a hate crime towards the entire LGBT community. Yes, Chris Pratt is a member of the Hillsong Megachurch, an organization that apparently many God-loving celebs are a part of or have attended services at, including Justin Bieber and Kendall and Kylie Jenner. So clearly only the most chaste and pious of members. Anyway, they've been accused of being anti-LGBT. You know, unlike most churches that are very pro-gay. Cough. So anyway, casting Chris Pratt, according to this one person, is the exact same thing as dragging a gay guy behind your truck. Same thing, guys! Here's some more of those. Chris Pratt as Mario is terrible and offensive. Yeah, Miyamoto might as well have just waltzed out on stage and went, "What up, my N-words? Why did they hire a homophobe? Guess I won't be supporting Nintendo." Not supporting them so hard that they refuse to even spell Nintendo correctly. But is Chris Pratt a homophobe just because he goes to this church? I mean, maybe. But as far as anyone knows, he's never done anything homophobic. He's never refused to work with a gay actor or beat up a homosexual. He's never talked about conversion therapy. He doesn't go around using gay slurs that we're aware of. And he once stated, "I am a man who believes that everyone is entitled to love who they want, free from the judgment of their fellow man." And then busted out a Bible verse stating, "Jesus said, 'I give you a new command, love one another,' and said, 'Hate has no place in my or any world.'" But you don't like who he's affiliated with, so okay. But maybe you should at least know who he's affiliated with? "I thought we canceled Pratt for being a Trumper." LOL. Guess it's handy Mario's already wearing a red hat. Just needs to add the AGA now. I mean, okay, that last one did make me laugh. It's a funny joke, but Chris Pratt isn't a Trump supporter. He gave money to Obama's campaign years ago, apparently, and since then has been effectively apolitical. He never talks about it on social media, doesn't retweet shit for either side. His wife, Catherine Schwarzenegger, called Trump trash and vocally backed Biden heavily. So, if he hates gay people simply by association to his church, could it not be believed that he backs Biden by association to his wife? Yeah, but he didn't go to that fundraiser. In 2020, there was this virtual Zoom fundraiser attended by Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., Paul Rudd, Don Cheadle, a bunch of MCU people. But Chris Pratt didn't take part, so that means Chris Pratt must be a Trumper. There's like 100 stars in the MCU now, and most of them didn't show up either, but Chris Pratt, the guy who visits sick Make-A-Wish kids constantly and just doesn't talk about politics ever because he knows he's a goofball who no one should ever take seriously. Yeah, he's probably evil. Anyway, That's just half the problem. People aren't just upset about what Chris Pratt is, they're also upset about what Chris Pratt isn't. He isn't even Italian! Chris Pratt is not Italian! Uh-oh, but is Chris Pratt Italian? So, we're Tilda Swintoning the Italians now? No thanks. I guess there are no qualities Italian actors anymore. Let's erase their heritage as Italians, yeah? Erase their heritage! Was Mario a huge part of Italian heritage? The stereotypical big-mustached fat plumber created by a Japanese man in the early 80s who, when given a voice, was made to sound kinda bigoted? Like, do you guys all think every Italian talks like, "It's-a me! I got a squeaky high voice, and I like it a pizza"? And here's what I love. I think both extremes accidentally came together here. You get the people who are truly so fucking far gone who think everything is racist, and then you got the people who are mad that Hank Azaria can't play Apu anymore, or the guy who played Cleveland stepped down to give the part to an actual black person, so they're like, "Nope, if you won't do this for white European characters either, we're calling you out on that too. You're being racist to whites." Hey, you know what? I'd love it if they got Tony Sirico and Steven Van Zandt as Mario and Luigi. You'd have a scene like this. "Oh, Lou, what the fuck you doing to the spaghetti?" "I fucking told you I want a little more Parmesan on the motherfucker." "A little? Madon, looks like the fucking mountain of coke from the head of Scarface." Oh, or maybe you could have the cast of Jersey Shore play them. Pauly D is like, "Hold on, I'm getting a call." And Snooki's on the other end. "Hey Mario, Bowser kidnapped me again. You gotta fucking come save me before I suck his dick, cause he's pretty fucking hot, you know. Okay, bye." But then, you got my favorite people in all of this. Can't do an Italian accent, so he will be terrible as Mario. Not a good actor for Mario. Why not use the real Mario voice actor instead? It won't sound like Star-Lord and Owen Grady from Jurassic World. Yeah, sure, let's get Chris Pratt to do an imitation of Mario for the animated Mario movie instead of getting, you know, the literal authentic voice of Mario who's been the character for 3 decades to play the real deal. Let's relegate Charles Martinet to special cameos instead. So a bunch of people are mad that Charles Martinet, the guy who goes, "Wah-ha! Here we go!" and "Oh no!" isn't going to do that for a 2-hour movie, and that they only gave him some pity roles. But the authentic voice and can't do an Italian accent, Charles Martinet is a French guy. I guess France is certainly closer to Italy than Virginia, Minnesota, don't ya know? And they both like bread and wine, but he's also not an Italian guy doing a stereotypical voice. But how can you take any of these people seriously anyway when they're making a movie about a video game where you curb stomp characters named Goombas, and in the 2020s, they're still doing the damsel in distress incel fantasy shit where a fat ugly little dude beats up a huge bully and saves the life of the poor, innocent princess that's way out of his league for the chance of getting laid, and the internet's going, "You know what's the most offensive thing about this? They didn't hire an Italian guy to go, 'Okay, lizard lips, I'm gonna slap you like a pizza dough.'" We normally conclude the madness with a reminder that there's some sanity left in the world by showing you someone who tweeted something rational, but instead, I'll conclude with this. Do I think Chris Pratt is the best choice? No. Don't take any of this as me defending this as a choice, but the movies he's made have made billions of dollars. The Marvel movies, the Jurassic World movies, the Lego movies. He's still a massive box office draw among people who don't live their lives entirely on Twitter. That is why he was cast. But if you're really concerned that a children's cartoon movie made by the people who made the Minions movies might ruin a character, take your Nintendo Switch outside and look up during the loading screens. All that sky and grass and shit that you're seeing, that's the real world. Consider being a part of it sometime. This has been Social Media Meltdown, where you can try and contain the contamination, but why bother when it's already a wasteland?